Hi, this is Rachel Chamness at Sound Waves Heal. I hope you enjoyed this very old masterclass for Tag Lightworkers from 2019, where we met tree spirits and river nymphs. I have been wanting to upload this masterclass for months and months, and I'm so glad to do it. Please note that I did this as a casual tag masterclass at the time, and of course, I wasn't thinking about putting it on YouTube, so it's not as professional as my more recent videos. But I sure hope that you enjoy it. This was one of my favorite months, and I thought the information they brought through was just great. So thank you so much for coming. Hi, and welcome to the Trees Masterclass. So, what do I mean when I'm talking about trees? So we're talking about tree spirits, the famous Green Man. I will be talking to him. Also, the Maiden Crone. She says to call her the Maiden Crone. She's been showing herself as a crone, a tree, like a cronish tree spirit. She's really cool. And then we have a river nymph. Her name is Salia. And a Udine, and she says her name is Moppa. So we're going to ask the questions and see who comes forward, and there might be more. So we will see. So as usual, for the 13 questions, I'm going to ask, so this will all be channeling. Question number 1, where do you originate from? Okay, here comes, this is Green Man. I am old as the trees and as old as the wild. For we began this planet, but are not from it. Our seeds were carried with great care to begin this planet. And we have seen many ages and have been here many, many millennia. Though the landscape changes, our spirits are the same. We may reincarnate as different types of trees or plant matter, but we are always here. This is true of most elementals. We have been around a long time, and we are in many realms. And we come to lighten the heart and to guide you. Not just you, many races and many types of beings. We are always around. This is Rachel, and I'm asking why he's saying some elementals and not all. So let's see. Because there are births of new elementals sometimes. As the imagination creates things, new elementals are formed. So not all of us have been around forever and ever. But when it comes to trees, spirits, we have. I want to ask the Maiden Crone where she comes from. I am older than dirt. What you know as dirt is not nearly as old as I am. I have 2 faces, and I show you the crone so that you know how long I have been. And though there was a beginning for me, the time is so long past, it is considered that I have always been. From birth to death, the life cycle I overview. I come as the maiden and the crone. I come as the helper for babies born. I come as the guidance for difficult growing years. Ages in what you would call teens, preteens, double digits. This is Rachel. She's talking about ages 10 to 19 is what she's saying. Or maybe a little longer, but that's what she's showing me. That's when she helps. So she's showing me she comes for your birth. She comes for helping in these hard pubescent years, and then she comes for childbirth. Okay, and then she comes for old age. For helping. She's a beautiful soul. To me, what she looks like is when a tree has a knot. It's like that's her face, and then like the wrinkles from that's like a white wrinkles from this knot. She's cool. Okay. Sorry, I'm in awe. It's really neat. So you know I do this with you also. It's always new to me too. Okay, number 2. Where do you exist now? We exist here on Earth with you, and yet we exist in other realms and planets and places too. For we do not live in a 3D time reality. We can interact with it, but our time is everywhere because we experience time differently. That's the green man, and he's showing me how you can be in 2 places at once because they don't really happen at the same time in this space of, it's almost like what we call presence. You can kind of feel this sometimes when you're like in the zone or whatever. I know when I was a singer, an opera singer, sometimes I would feel in the zone where I was singing the song in perfect like tempo and everything was going well. In fact, so well that I felt like it was in slow motion. I could do everything perfectly. I could do every nuance. There was so much time to put every perfect thing in there. And those were like the most beautiful times. And for me, and you know, that's what it's like to be in the zone. It's kind of like you're running a marathon. You're running really fast, but in slow motion, you can make a perfect form. You can enjoy every breath. You know, it's like you're in the zone. And they're saying in that kind of zone, they can be in many places at once. I was trying to explain it and then it got away from me. I'm sorry. Hopefully you understand or can meditate on it. Okay, number 3. What does this group have in common? I think that's kind of obvious, but we'll ask. Okay, here's Moppa, the Udine. What we have in common is our help, and of course, our place in this life, what you would call the forest, or places with lots of green and water. For a tree needs water, and we are water creatures, and many that have come forth are Udines and all types of what you would call water fairies and tree fairy spirits, tree fairies and forest fairies and river fairies and nymphs and naiads and Udines. What we have in common is we like to help. We're here to help you always, and we love to see you in nature. It's very important that you go to nature. It's very, very important, and you must have more nature in your life because that is what you were made for. Your bodies are made to respond to nature, and if you are too far away from it, you cannot really concentrate because you will feel torn. You will feel as if you are not grounded, and things will be more difficult. So you must always take time to go into the forest or the trees or the park or the yard or whatever it is that you have. You need to have a sanctuary of nature. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Number 4. How do you help? Do you help us with Ascension? That sort of thing. This is the crone. We are ascended beings, and so we help you with your connection to Ascension. We are helping you with your bridge of Ascension in the 3D world. We are ascended beings that live in the 3D world with you. We experience both the 5D, or actually it's much higher for us in many degrees, from 5D to 10, dimension 10. And we also connect with you in the 3D world. And what we wish is to help you learn to live in a higher space, 5 or 6D, Some of you may go higher at times when you're channeling. If you're a medium, which of course you all have the capacity to be, and everyone will be a medium when it's complete, the ascension on this planet. But you have the ability to do this now, and we are here to help that bridge. Okay, this is Rachel. I want to ask about some of this other stuff that I had gotten. So I got that they were going to help us with connecting to the galactical resonance instead of the Schumann resonance. So the Schumann resonance on Earth is changing, which means we really need to connect to the galactical, they're telling me, the galactical vibration resonance instead, so that we still feel grounded and not thrown off by the Schumann resonance changing. Also breaking patterns within, in our families with ancestral healing, star connections, star to Earth, and stabilizing the Earth star. Okay, so let me ask her about that. You know us as elementals, but we are actually galactical beings. And so as our branches reach out and you see the sky behind us, our branches with stars in between and all around, that is the vision we send to you, because we are connecting you to the galaxy as well. And we will help this month with this resonance for connection to help you with ascension symptoms. We also want to help you break any ancestral patterns that you have in your life. This includes abuse of all kinds, financial difficulties, not so much infertility, but the issue of health, which is compounded because it is passed down from flora of the mother to the child. And so on Earth at this time, there's many toxin and health issues which can cause infertility. And we also can help with this. Okay, so if some of you are thinking about having a child, this can help you. I actually feel like there's a lot lately. They have been saying that. Okay, let's go to the next question. Why are you here? Okay, I want to ask the river nymph Salia. She hasn't said anything yet. In so many ways, you are like us. You need water to live. You are bodies of water. We are not bodies of water, but we are flowing like the water, and our spirit very much echoes what we come from, whether it is a tree or a river or anything related to both. We are vibrating the same as water. For trees need water, river is water, you need water. And so we connect to you very easily, and have always connected to you. And you know this, for you have been very attracted to this month and tag, and know that all of this is very important to you. And that is because we are important to you. We are here always to help you. We have helped you in the past, and we want to help you ongoing. We want to stand by your side. We want to get to know you. We are very excited to attune to you so that you can talk with us often. That's cool. Okay, that makes sense. All right, number 7, how do we work with you? I think I already know the answer to this. I'm going to bring in, let's see who wants to come in. The Crone's coming in, okay. It is very simple to connect with us. In the attunement, we will connect so that you can call upon us at any time. But if you need us before then, you may lay your hand in the moving stream. You may place your hand on a tree trunk. And these are the preferred ways because we would like you to be in nature. If this is not possible, you may run your hand in the water in the sink. You may call on us when you take a shower. You may have a plant, a green plant, growing that you may touch in your space. This is Rachel, and she's actually talking about like having a tree in your apartment or house if you live in the city. So she's kind of showing me like, what are those called, like money trees, or maybe these little trees. They're like little tiny trees that you can keep in your house. So something green, not just flowers, because I asked her about flowers and she was like, not really. That's something different. So, okay. How do we work with you? Did I do this already? No. Okay, number 7. How do we work with you? Green man. All you have to do is ask. We are here always. We are near. We will show you how to balance your energy with the galaxy and Earth and the new Schumann. So as the Schumann resonance of Earth is changing, you may change with it. You may ride the wave instead of being thrown off by the wave. And this will also help you when the solar flares come for Ascension. You will be riding them easily and not affected strongly, for we can help you with this deep earthly connection. This also gives you one foot in the new earth, which is why we mention the Earth Star help. We will teach you all the ways. Follow the rest of the month, the attunement and the meditation for more help. Okay, this is Rachel. Good. Number 8, what do you do? What area do you specialize in, together or separate? Okay, let's start with the crone. I have told you I specialize in teenage years, preteens, in births of all types, in old age, in the transition to death and the transition to birth, and any way that you feel connected to it. I don't just mean for women, but for men also. If you are wanting a baby, finding that connection for you. If you are wanting a family and do not have one. We are so pleased to be here. Okay, I've already forgotten the question because that was kind of deep. What was the question? What area do you specialize? Green man. I specialize in so many things it's hard to put into words. I am over viewing nature. I am coordinating and helping those connect with basic needs, spiritual needs, but basic needs for those who live in a different reality than humans, such as animals. I'm overseeing them in the forest to make sure their needs are met and they have happy lives. I oversee humans, that they remember to connect with nature. I help with energies. Trees often help balance this earth and heal. And that is why people like to have trees in their yard and parks and foliage and gardens, because you must have nature You cannot live without it. This is Rachel. He's actually showing me that is the hardest part of being in prison. That prison is really hard for that reason. So our question for number 9 is, when should we call on you? Meaning, like, you know, we have so many beings that we are connected to now. So when do we call on the tree spirit? Okay, they're coming in already. I'm just trying to explain that, if you're new, what this question means. Like, when is it the tree spirits or these river spirits? Okay. This is Moppa, the Udine. You don't need to worry when to call on us, because if we think that we can help, we will come up in your consciousness. And so then you will suddenly think of trees, or you will suddenly think of us, or river fairies, or all kinds of beings like us. Whatever it is, when it comes to our type of elementals, we come to you and flash ourselves in your brain, and then you know it's time to call on us and ask. So no worries on that. But we can always help you with anything to do with nature, or balancing your energies, or healing. And what this month is about is also helpful ancestral healing, connection with the galaxy. We can also help you with that to some extent. Of course, some of your galactical helpers may help more, but we are from the galaxy, especially the trees, have been around a long time. Udines are a little newer. Okay, it's Rachel. Okay, she's adorable. Okay. Number 10, do you have a connection with a certain color? It's a forest fairy named Kalina. Greens and browns, of course. But don't forget autumn colors as well. We are recording this during the autumn time, and they are fresh in your brain. So autumn colors, all types of golds and burnt orange and deep red of changing leaves, all these colors that you are familiar with. These are the colors we are associated with. That's cool. This is Rachel. Now for number 11, what frequency or dimension are you coming from? They actually already answered that. The crone said she's more like 10 or 11, and the green man too. But some of these other elementals kind of go between 6 and 8. So let's go to the next one. 12, what form do you take or look like? I think that one's kind of obvious for these guys too. Let's see. Let's ask. Green man. We take the forms of every kind of greenery, trees, even river pods, willows. I'm sorry, this is Rachel. He's looking for the names of like pond, things that grow in the pond, and he's showing them to me, and he's looking for the name in my head, and I don't know the names of them, and so I think he's like so he's showing me like lily pads, and then those like reeds with a little white tip, those kind of things, and he's showing me like all kinds of brush, like it's not just trees, they're like in everything green. So the flowers are different. He's saying those are fairies. Flowers are fairies. Now, there are some flowers connected with trees. He's showing me things like the flowers that bloom and then turn into fruit, or things like that. And he's saying there are fruit fairies. I love fruit fairies. Got some on my Christmas tree. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Fruit fairies. Oh gosh, that's so cool. Okay. Number 13, do you have an ego? We're going to ask each one of them, because I'm wondering if they do. They're elementals, and fairies have egos. So let's see. Crone. I do not have an ego, but many fairies do. Green man. I do not have an ego, but the fairies do. This is Rachel. Poor fairies. Okay, I don't know if a river nymph is a fairy, so we'll see. No, she says no. Salia. I do not consider myself completely egoless like the crone and the green man. But I do not have an ego as much as a fairy. So there is an in-between, and that's where I am. Okay. The Udine, Moppa. Yep. We do. We are like fairies. Okay, let's ask Kalina. She's a forest fairy, so I imagine we do have egos. And we do like for you to do things for us too. Just like all the other fairies, we very much like you to pick up trash and to keep areas clean. And of course, the rivers, all of this is very important. We also like snacks and drinks. You may offer to us anytime. This is Rachel. I see like little cups of booze and little things you can leave in between them. So they're showing me the bottom of a tree, like the roots, like there. You could leave it there. And of course, I'm like, what about the R bugs? Like they're gonna eat it, and they're like, that's okay. We're connected. They're fairies. I have this like horrible fear of crows. But I'm sorry if you do too. Anyway, they're pretty prevalent where I live in Louisiana. So the fairies are always trying to convince me that it's not that big of a deal. That the ones here, and they show me these gorgeous like fairies, bug fairies that are the R bug, and they are always trying to tell me not to worry so much. It's not the same. So, but I do have a past life where giant ones like tortured me. So that's the root of the problem, which I have been clearing. So at least I can say the word now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, feel free to just pop them in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as I see them, okay? Thank you all so much.